I am having a much needed later start today. I wasn't going to set my alarm, and then I decided to set my alarm, so I set it for 8:30 because that would give me an hour to get ready and then an hour for breakfast, so I didn't have to like rush. But I ended up snoozing it for like over half an hour. So I haven't rushed to get ready, but I've got ready in half an hour, so it's 9:45. I'm going to head down for breakfast. I've only got 45 minutes left of breakfast, so I'm going to enjoy that, and then I'll come back to the room and unpack. I've literally got up at 6 a.m. the last 2 days, which is 5 a.m. UK time, so I'm a little bit tired. I didn't sleep very well last night, but hopefully I can come back to the room, pack, and then got 6 hours to explore Krakow. They've had players' bags and names on the door since yesterday morning, and they're still outside, which is very odd. So I am pretty much all packed up and ready to check out, and I have decided I'm going to leave my trainers here and throw them in the bin. It actually makes me really sad. I've had these trainers since I was in Cattlethorpe High School, and it was when I was doing PE before GCSEs. So the oldest I would have been would be 14, but I think I was probably even younger than that. So they've lasted so long, and they've been amazing trainers, but they're just kind of destroyed. And if you saw my day 2 of Poland, you'll have seen that my feet were absolutely soaking wet and they were not waterproof at all and did not protect my feet at all. So both the soles are coming off at the front, and one of them especially lets loads of water in. And then both the sides, you can see where the mesh is like, worn through. This one especially, and like literally my foot is right there and there's like half a thread left. I absolutely love these trainers. They are genuinely my favourite trainers that I've ever owned. I'm going to try and find some that are super similar, maybe black, so that they go with more outfits. But yeah, saying goodbye to the trainers. Goodbye shoes. Does anyone else do like 10 panic checks of the room before they leave? I feel like I've checked it 100 times, but I still don't know if it's fully checked. So I am all checked out, and it's a good job I checked out when I did, because just as I was leaving, loads of handball players arrived and it was a bit chaotic. So I'm now walking into town, and I'm going to walk along the river. Apparently Krakow is usually covered in snow this time of year, so it's very hot, and I am literally sweating in this scarf and coat. I've not even fastened it up because it's so hot. I'm really regretting wearing this scarf. I should have left it in my suitcase. It is so sunny. It is a beautiful day today, so hopefully the weather will stay nice. Hopefully get a bit cooler if I'm honest, but no rain. I'm honestly pretty bored. I can't remember if I've said this or not, but I was supposed to do a Segway tour today that was supposed to take like 4 hours. So instead, I'm just walking around by myself. I've been here, so they're really nice and modern. Got like 3 toilets. As you can probably tell, I'm now back at the hotel. I'm just going to pick up my belongings and then sit down for a little bit before I order an Uber to the airport. As you can probably tell, because I am now driving, I am now back in England. I am actually in Leeds at the moment, although I am literally just driving away and heading back to Nottingham. It's about 12 o'clock and I got back at 1 AM this morning. Oh, yesterday was an absolute nightmare of a flight. I think it's probably the worst flight I've ever been on. It's only 2.5 hours, that's fine. We were a little bit delayed setting off, not sure why, but they said that we would make up for it. And then about an hour into the journey, they said that there was a lot of headwind, and it was going to be really rough as we got towards England and to Leeds Bradford Airport. So I was like, oh, it'll be fine. And then just as we hit the English coast, he said, like, look outside, this is the English coast, now it's about to get worse. And literally the plane was like this. I quite liked it to begin with, because I like it, you know, when you go over a hill when you're driving and your tummy goes and it's like, oh, it was like that for the first little bit. But then it slowly got worse and worse and worse. And so I kind of think I would have freaked out a little bit more, but the girl next to me was crying, and then she started to have a bit of a panic attack. She was only young, I think her and her boyfriend were maybe 18 at the most, but they looked younger, and he was like laughing at her, and it was their first flight that they'd like not been away with parents, they said, and it was obviously like a couple trip, but he was not being supported at all. So I ended up trying to calm her down, which obviously distracted me, and it was absolutely fine until we landed. And then I think he said it changed to a tailwind, so because it changed directions of the wind, it then meant that we were going in really, really fast. So when we landed, we were still like going at full speed, and so they were literally like bouncing, almost got whiplash, literally had to get into the brace position and like hold ourselves against the seat in front of us, because it was so rough, we were like bouncing everywhere. But then we landed and it was absolutely fine, and I'm not usually one to cheer, and I didn't cheer because that's not me, but I was quite glad that other people cheered. And then they played like this celebration music over the intercom, so obviously the pilots were also in agreement that it was good that we landed. So yeah, it was a little bit rough, and then it only got worse because we were originally somewhere. Everyone started to take their seatbelts off before the seatbelt sign, as usual, which always really pisses me off. But then even after the pilot said it twice to sit back down, they still hadn't, so the air hostesses literally had to get out of their seats and go and tell everyone individually, which would have just really pissed me off. And then we had to be moved to a different area that was less exposed because it was too windy for us to get off the plane. So they moved us somewhere else, and I was literally the first person on the plane, but I was sat right at the back, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is great, I'll be the first one off as well, so I'll be able to get in and out really quick. But then they only wanted to open one of the doors, so they opened the front doors, which meant I was almost the very last person to get off. And getting down those stairs was an absolute nightmare. It was so windy, like it was shaking everywhere, I was going so slowly, and of course my hair was blowing everywhere in my face, so I couldn't really see. But yeah, they didn't want to open both the doors because apparently if they opened both it would create like a wind tunnel. And what else did they say? Oh, and as we were waiting for them to connect the stairs, literally the plane's like rocking still, so we're like stationary in Leeds Bradford Airport, like wherever we dock or wherever it is, and literally the plane's going like this because of the wind. It was so rocky. But anyway, all safe and sound now. I had a lovely lie this morning, literally the latest I've slept for like 2 weeks. It was very much appreciated. Obviously I didn't get to sleep till like 1:30. But I have got ready, semi-ready. I've had a shower, put on some clothes, and I have just done my hair in plaits because tonight is my cousin's son's naming ceremony. So I wanted it to be wavy for tonight, so I've shoved it up in plaits. I am heading back. I'm gonna get some McDonald's for lunch, I think, on the way home. In fact, I know I am, because the
so I'm going to get some McDonald's, and then I'm going to go to the grocery shop, go to Asda, do a grocery shop before I head home, and then I'll put a wash on. I've got a doctor's appointment at 3:30ish, and then I'll come back to the house, have another shower, put on some makeup because I've not got any makeup on now, and head to my cousin's. I have just realised that I have been literally talking for 5 minutes, so I apologise for the very boring story. I think I'm going to end this vlog here and start a new vlog for being back in England. So thank you so much for watching all my holiday vlogs. I will speak to you next time.